Prince Andrew has already had several titles stripped of him, but some have called for his Duke of York honour to be the next to go. So could Andrew lose his royal titles if the Removal of Titles Bill is passed? A proposed law has been tabled in Parliament that could see Prince Andrew and other peers stripped of their titles. Labour MP for York Central, Rachel Maskell, has put forward the Removal of Titles Bill to create a mechanism to remove titles from peers. The development comes just a few months after the Duke of York settled his U.S. civil case with Virginia Giuffre, who alleged she was trafficked to Prince Andrew by the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Prince Andrew, who has consistently denied all claims, reached an undisclosed settlement with his accuser in February, which included no admission of guilt on his part. But the reputation of the Queen's second son, who is no longer considered a working royal, remains in tatters. Could Prince Andrew lose his royal title, after already returning several honorary military titles and patronages to the Queen in January? Some think Prince Andrew should also lose his Duke of York title too. Ms. Maskell told the PA news agency her constituents made it clear to her that they wanted the Duke of York's title to be removed, leading her to table the Removal of Titles Bill. If the bill passes through the House of Commons, the House of Lords and then receives royal assent from the Queen, it could mean Andrew's Duke of York title can be removed. Another bill related to titles, the Titles Deprivation Act 1917, was passed more than a century ago during World War I, but it only enabled enemies of the UK to be stripped of their titles if they had borne arms against His Majesty or his allies. What is the Removal of Titles Bill? Although the Queen allocated Prince Andrew his Duke of York title in 1986, a simple process to remove titles is currently non-existent. As it stands, a statute would likely need to be passed by the House of Commons and the House of Lords before receiving royal assent from the Queen. Ms. Maskell said, "Back in February when we had the focus on the court case, which was being brought against Andrew, my constituents responded that 80% of people wanted the association with the current Duke of York to be broken. And therefore, I met with the clerks here in the Commons to see how it can be achieved." She added, "There are no mechanisms in place, even for the monarch, to remove the title. The only real way it could be done is for Andrew to no longer call himself, by choice, the Duke of York. The problem is, particularly with an international city like York, that using a title like the Duke of York is an ambassadorial role. It carries the name of our city across the world, and it's a city, which is a human rights city, the only human rights city in England. We are already in a culture clash when we are talking about violence against women and girls and the issues that we are really working hard on in the city, about making York a very safe place." Ms. Maskell said the bill could have wider implications for individuals who have not lived up to public expectations. For ex-Maple, Lord Lebedev, the Russian-born businessman, was awarded a peerage in 2020, while Lord Nazir Ahmed has also faced calls to lose his title after he was convicted earlier this year of twice trying to rape a girl and sexually assaulting a boy under 11 in the early 1970s.